The left is midnight blay, as the quarter me next raise the weeds in our garden. Our setting is seven sisters and Peter's ploof on the backs of my een, as you bend down to blaw a steaming gust at the Dandelion Pluff.
A Scots language poem encouraging us to look up to the night sky on Burns Night. Our national bard's birthday tomorrow coincides with a rare cosmic spectacle when up to 6 lined up planets could be visible to the naked eye. This celestial event has inspired Aberdeenshire poet Shane Strachan.
I'm thinking about Pleiades, which is a constellation. It's actually one of the closest constellations to Earth, and it's the one that we can most see. So Pleiades was used by sailors in the past to navigate the seas. And so I'm comparing this constellation in the sky with a dandelion clock that's been blown, and the seeds are dispersing and floating.
Shane's poem is part of the Scottish Poetry Library's New Burns Night Skies collection in celebration of Scotland's best-known poet. It includes poetry by his North East contemporaries Joe Gilbert and Sheena Blackhall, written like Burns' work in Scots.
When folk have read Scots in the past, they've probably read Burns, which is Ayrshire Scots, and it's West Coast Scots. So to be asked as a North East Scots writer to add to the mix, alongside contemporary Ayrshire poets like Rab Wilson, the former Scottish macher Kathleen Jamie, and then other North East poets like Sheena Blackhall and Joe Gilbert, it's kind of like showing a constellation of Scots dialects and actually how rich the language still is to this day.
Can you imagine hearing the chick to ca' this solar system ours? As if sharing atoms with it gives us first dibs.
One of my kind of favourite Burns poems is Tell House, and thinking about, who do either see us, that kind of, I think his poems have really great messages in them, and so that scene that always stuck out to me, and I often quote him in my own Scots poetry. I think you kind of know if you're a Scots writer, he's just there in the background, and it's something that you can tap into with folk, because if they've read on his Scots, they've probably read Burns. It dunces it's still empty, sends up its parachutes on spleet new journeys to tak root and nath another's starny night. A lot of folk that end up associating Scots with white male kind of authors, so I think this is great about this project to kind of expand out for that. And there's lots of alternative Burns nights now, often open mic nights with new writers and new work in Scots, so I think it's changing over time.
Halley's Comet was visible when Burns was born in 1759. So how fitting that over 200 years on, another spectacular cosmic event is inspiring new Scots work as many of us prepare to raise a glass to our national bard. Anne Smith, STV News.